welcome to Keeda Barns. We are just outside Dumfries in Galloway. This is where we farm our herd of brown Swiss cows. So we are brown Swiss because they're really hardy, healthy cows. We make a lot of milk from grass and really easy to manage, and we love them. We milk 110 cows milking at the moment, with 120 in the herd altogether. And then with the youngsters that are running around the field still growing and things, we have around 280 cattle altogether. So we milk the cows twice a day to produce the milk, which goes and we cool that straight away and it goes into a tank, and then the milk tanker comes to collect that. And that milk goes off to make cheese and yogurt, chocolate, milkshakes, ice cream, lots of good things like that. So this is, as I said, this is our calf shed. So this is like their P1 classroom. So the calves live in here in groups of around 10 until they are 5 or 6 months old, and then they stop drinking milk and they'll move on to other sheds that are bigger with more space for them to play and grow and run around in. We've got a mix of different breeds in here. So these ones, the kind of browny ones, they're brown Swiss, and then these black and white ones are Holsteins, and we have a few of these kicking about. And then you'll see one chocolatey brown one at the back here. He's a Wagyu cross out of the brown Swiss. So we don't keep any of the calves with their mothers at all. Our cows are bred for producing lots of milk, so they're not really very good mothers. And then the other thing is that we can control how much milk they get. Like I said before, we don't want them to get too much milk because they'll get upset tummies, and we don't want them to not get enough and then they wouldn't be healthy and growing. So when they're not with their mothers, it means we can control and make sure that they get the correct amount of milk. So at the moment, these guys are on about 5 litres of milk a day, so they get 2.5 litres in the morning for their breakfast and 2.5 litres in the afternoon for their lunch or supper. So that's, if you imagine a litre bottle of milk that you would get in the shops, so they get 2.5 of those each feed. These guys are still on milk at the moment, but they're also getting to eat a lot of straw, which is good for their tummy's development. And then they also are on what we call a cake. It's like a pellet, lots of goodies, kind of wheat and proteins and energies. That continues to help them grow into big, strong cows. So you'll see that all the calves have 2 yellow tags, one in each ear, and that's their unique number so that we know who they are. They also have each animal has a passport, so that if they go away onto a different farm, that passport goes with them. Right, you might have noticed that this calf here has a couple of casts on her front legs. This Cafe she is a twin, and when she was born, her front legs were knuckled over quite badly, so we've had the vet out a few times, and he's put the casts on to try and straighten her legs, fix those so she can walk around. But she can walk around nicely now with those on, but it's strengthening up her wrists, as they would be. And then we'll take those off in a few days. Hopefully she's mended there. So all the calves have got names. Even the bull calves that we don't keep for a long time, or the calves that we're going to sell, all get names, and it just means that it's easier if anyone's poorly and needs seeing. You can say, oh, like Victor here is not feeling very well, and we can come and find him easily. For example, this is Cafe Latte, so she's the twin to the calf with the casts on. Oh, here we have Easy on the Eye, one of the Holsteins, and then this is Rochambeau. Every calf gets its own unique name. We try and use the first letter of its mum's name, keep that letter the same, because that builds the family so that we know which everything's got. So these calves are about 1 month old at the moment, so they stay in individual pens till they're 2 to 3 weeks old, so we can keep a close eye on them, check that they're getting enough feed, make sure they're healthy, and then once they're say 3 weeks old, they move over into here in groups of 10. They can run around and play together and get some different feed and water and things then. So this is another group of calves, be around 3 months old, 3 to 4 months old. There's a little mix of age in here. As they get older, they like to run around and bounce and play. And when it's a colder day like today, they like to go inside their igloo. We call these igloos, and they like to go in there and get shelter and keep warm and dry. And then they'll come out here for a run around and eat straw, and then they get fed out here as well. So